Africa is a continent on the move. This movement is not just metaphorical, it's literal. The land beneath our feet is constantly shifting, driven by forces deep within the earth. These movements are part of a grand geological dance that has been going on for millions of years. Deep beneath its surface, the earth is shifting. Tectonic plates, massive slabs of rock that make up the earth's crust, are in constant motion. They float on the semi-fluid mantle, moving ever so slowly but with immense power. This movement is responsible for earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and the creation of mountains. This movement is creating something amazing, a brand new ocean. The East African Rift is a prime example of this incredible process. Here, the African continent is being pulled apart, and a new ocean is beginning to form in the gap. You might not see it happening quickly. In fact, the changes are so slow that they are almost imperceptible to the human eye. But over millions of years, these small movements add up to create dramatic transformations in the landscape. It takes millions of years for an ocean to form. The process is slow and gradual, but it is relentless. Over time, the rift will continue to widen, and eventually, it will become a vast ocean. But the process has already begun. The East African Rift is already showing signs of this transformation. Cracks in the ground are widening and the land is slowly sinking. This new ocean is forming in a region called the East African Rift Valley. This valley stretches over 3,000 kilometers, from the Afar Triple Junction in the northeast to Mozambique in the south. A rift is a crack in the Earth's crust. These cracks are formed by the movement of tectonic plates. As the plates move apart, the crust thins and breaks, creating a rift. This crack is slowly getting wider. The rift is expanding at a rate of a few millimeters to a few centimeters per year. Over millions of years, this will add up to a significant change. Over millions of years, it will become so big that water from the Red Sea will flow in. This will create a new ocean, separating the eastern part of Africa from the rest of the continent. Eventually, a vast new ocean will be born. This new ocean will change the geography of the region, creating new coastlines and new ecosystems. This is a story about powerful forces deep inside our planet. These forces are constantly shaping and reshaping the Earth's surface, creating new landscapes and new environments. It's a story about how the Earth is constantly changing. The land we live on is not static, it is dynamic and ever-changing. This process of change is what makes our planet so unique and so fascinating. And it's a story that reminds us that even the biggest things on Earth, like continents and oceans, are not permanent. They are always changing, always evolving. This constant change is a reminder of the incredible power and beauty of our planet. They are always changing, always evolving. The Earth is a living, breathing entity, and its story is one of continuous transformation. As we look to the future, we can only imagine what new wonders will be created by the forces of nature. To understand how a new ocean can form, we need to delve into the fascinating dynamics of our planet's surface. Our Earth is a dynamic and ever-changing planet. The surface we live on is constantly being reshaped by powerful forces. The Earth's outer layer, known as the crust, is not a single unbroken shell. Instead, it's divided into several large and small pieces. These pieces are called tectonic plates. They fit together like a giant jigsaw puzzle covering the entire surface of the Earth. However, unlike a static puzzle, these plates are in constant motion. They glide over the semi-fluid layer beneath them, known as the mantle. This movement is incredibly slow, occurring at a rate of just a few centimeters each year. It's almost imperceptible to us in our daily lives. To put it into perspective, the speed at which these plates move is comparable to the rate at which your fingernails grow. While this might seem slow over millions of years, this gradual movement can lead to significant geological transformations. These slow but persistent movements can reshape entire continents, create new ocean basins, and alter the face of our planet dramatically. The interactions between tectonic plates are responsible for some of the most powerful natural events on Earth, such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. These movements can also lead to the formation of majestic mountain ranges and the creation of deep ocean trenches, showcasing the immense power of geological forces. In some regions like the East African Rift Valley, tectonic activity is actively pulling the continent apart, gradually leading to the formation of a new ocean. Understanding these processes helps us appreciate the dynamic nature of our planet and the incredible forces that shape the world we live in. The East African Rift Valley is a huge crack in the Earth's surface. It stretches for thousands of kilometers, from Mozambique in the south to Ethiopia in the north. It's so big that it can be seen from space. This rift is where three tectonic plates are pulling away from each other: the Nubian plate, the Somali plate, and the Arabian plate. As these plates move apart, they stretch the Earth's crust. This stretching creates the Rift Valley. Think of it like pulling on a piece of bread dough. As you pull, the dough stretches and thins out. That's what's happening to the Earth's crust in the East African Rift Valley. In 2005, something dramatic happened in the Afar region of Ethiopia, located in the northern part of the East African Rift Valley. A massive crack opened up in the ground, almost 60 kilometers long. This crack wasn't caused by an earthquake, as you might expect. It was caused by volcanic activity. Magma, which is molten rock beneath the Earth's surface, pushed its way up through the crust. This caused the ground to bulge and crack. The crack grew rapidly, at some points several meters per day. This event was a stark reminder that the Earth is an active and dynamic planet. It also provided scientists with a rare opportunity to study the early stages of ocean formation. Section 5. Satellites and the Moving Rift. Scientists use many tools to study the Earth. One of their most important tools is satellites. Satellites orbit high above our planet, constantly observing and collecting data. Scientists use satellites to track the movement of tectonic plates. They can measure the movement of the ground with incredible accuracy, down to the millimeter. This data tells them how fast the plates are moving and in what direction. Thanks to satellites, we know that the East African Rift Valley is widening at a rate of a few centimeters per year. That might not seem like much, but over millions of years, it adds up to a lot of movement. Section 6. When will the ocean form? Scientists estimate that it will take another 5 to 10 million years for the new ocean to fully form in the East African Rift Valley. That's a very long time. During that time, the Rift Valley will continue to widen. Eventually it will become so wide that water from the Red Sea will flow in. This will create a long, narrow sea. Over time, this sea will get wider and deeper, eventually becoming a new ocean. The formation of a new ocean is a slow and gradual process, but it's a reminder that our planet is constantly changing, even if we can't always see it. Section 7. New coastlines, new challenges. The formation of a new ocean in Africa will have a profound impact on the continent. It will create new coastlines, which could lead to new economic opportunities. But it will also bring new challenges. As the Rift Valley widens, some areas will become more prone to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. People living in these areas may need to relocate. The good news is that we have millions of years to prepare for these changes. Scientists are already working on ways to monitor the Rift Valley and predict future events. This information will help us to adapt to the changing landscape and mitigate the risks. Section 8. Echoes of Ancient Earth. The formation of a new ocean in Africa is not a unique event in Earth's history. This phenomenon is part of a much larger and ancient narrative that has been unfolding for billions of years. The Earth's crust is constantly in motion, driven by the immense forces of plate tectonics. In fact, it's happened many times before. The Earth's surface has been reshaped repeatedly, with continents merging and breaking apart in a cyclical dance that spans eons. These monumental shifts have given rise to the diverse landscapes we see today. Hundreds of millions of years ago, all of the continents were joined together in one giant supercontinent called Pangaea. This supercontinent was a vast landmass that dominated the planet, home to a myriad of ancient life forms. Over millions of years, Pangaea broke apart. The forces of plate tectonics slowly pulled the landmass in different directions, creating rifts and eventually leading to the formation of separate continents. The continents drifted to their current positions, forming the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean in the process. These oceans are the result of the gradual but relentless movement of tectonic plates, a process that continues to shape our world. The evidence for this ancient event can be found in the fossil record and the shapes of the continents. Fossils of identical species have been discovered on continents now separated by vast oceans, providing compelling proof of their once unified existence. The formation of the East African Rift Valley is a modern-day example of this ancient process. This rift is a visible reminder of the dynamic nature of our planet, where new geological features are constantly being created. It's a reminder that the Earth is a dynamic and ever-changing planet. The landscapes we see today are just a snapshot in the long history of geological transformation. As we look to the future, we can expect the Earth's surface to continue evolving, driven by the same powerful forces that have shaped it for billions of years. Section 9. A planet in motion. Our planet is always changing. Mountains rise and erode, oceans form and disappear, continents drift across the globe. These changes happen over vast stretches of time, often too slow for us to notice in our lifetimes. But they are a testament to the powerful forces that shape our world. The formation of a new ocean in Africa is a reminder that we live on a dynamic planet. It's a planet that is constantly evolving, constantly surprising us. The story of the East African Rift Valley is still being written. It's a story that will continue to unfold for millions of years to come.